This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, happy Labor Day, LowcoSports fans. Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Tim Alonso along for the open of the LowcoSports Lowdown tonight. We'll have Max Arraj joining us midway through, and we'll definitely chatter a lot about high school football week 2. It was a good time out there on Thursday and Friday night. Had one game on Thursday, but most of it happening under the Friday night lights, and we broke it all down on Loco Pigskin Live, but we'll come back around. We've got some official stats and stuff now, so we'll dig a little deeper and start to make sense of what all went down on Friday night. We'll also talk with Beau Gwynn from the May River football team, also a wrestler, kid that I've gotten to know really well and really enjoyed talking to, and excited to have him on tonight and get to know a little bit more about his journey and his goals and all that stuff. Plenty of football talk. If you were watching football this weekend, everywhere you turned, every game that was on TV, it felt like had a Loco guy in it. So that was cool. Jalen Sneed showing out. Cole DeMarzo was playing late night. Even had Zion Dobson's team, although he didn't get any action this weekend, but had them on ESPN. So it was just cool to look around as college football was getting going and see our guys everywhere. And then Timmy, you were out at cross country and in a little women's soccer scrimmage where we had some Loco and Loco action. So we'll get into all of that here in a bit. But the LowcoSports Lowdown presented by our all-star sponsor, Mickelson Law Firm, the original sponsor of LowcoSports, been with us since 2017, sight unseen almost. I mean, they saw what we were trying to build, got on board, and we appreciate them supporting us every step of the way as we continue to grow and expand this grassroots local sports coverage of South Carolina Lowcountry, shining a light on our teams and student athletes. Mickelson Law Firm doing great things in our community, and if you have any legal needs that can help you out, they're our official real estate closing attorney, and they're the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, but they can help you with all the legal needs over at Mickelson Law Firm. Fellas, how we doing today?
I'm doing well. Yeah, had a relaxing Labor Day. It's been a fun weekend, but a lot of football, especially with college football getting underway. So a lot going on, going from Friday night to a big slate of action on the college scene. So a lot of stuff going on. Action-packed weekend. The unofficial end of summer as we get full-fledged into fall sports. And I'm going to say it's really going to start getting busy. Tim Alonso has some stuff for us in terms of some scrimmages. We get USCB women's soccer getting underway this week with their first home game slated for Saturday against Kings. Looking forward to jumping on the call from there on Saturday afternoon. And then it should be another interesting slate of high school football as we head into this week, and some interesting takeaways, including another pair of solid victories for both Bluffton and May River. So this region getting more and more, competitive by the minutes in terms of what it looks like it could be at the top. Hilton Head suffered a loss teams down. That seemed like it was surprising.
But I thought they played pretty tough, though.
Yeah, 24-0.
They're kind of in that game for most of it, So I didn't come away, and Ranajeski didn't play.
Yep.
Jeremiah Walters was at quarterback, so I don't know. I'm still pretty bullish on them when they're healthy, but that's always the question: is
the team's small,
will they be able to stay healthy? They just don't have much depth. Nope. You mentioned it, Tim. They just don't have many guys on the sideline.
Right.
That's been an issue.
So they got a lot of guys who go both ways, and if you get hurt, that's like losing 2 or even 3 guys because they play special teams, So they're just a little thin. So we'll see how long they can hold it together. Playing teams like James Island will get you thin in a hurry too, because they come with some heat. They hit hard, and you're going to be a little banged up after that. But So how was how'd the brothers do in the cross country? May River fared pretty well, right?
Yeah, they did really well as a team. From what I heard, my 2 brothers both were under 18 minutes. They had an underclassmen run who ran pretty good. I think we had a PR on the team there. So, yeah, from what I heard, it was a pretty solid weekend.
Fantastic. May River's had a solid cross-country program in the last few years. I think Bluffton and Hilton Head have consistently been up there historically, but May River has certainly turned it on the last season, especially on the girls' side as well. They've been an excellent squad, but yeah, I'm pumped to see cross country getting going again. One of my favorite sports, of course, I ran when I was in high school. So it's definitely to me. But Tim, you're also at some women's soccer, if you said that correctly.
Yeah. So my sister played with Zoe Stevenson. She's up at Anderson now. They were here
Besties.
they were here for a scrimmage the other day. So
Nice.
my whole family was over at that for a little bit. I guess they did a string of scrimmages at a couple schools around here.
That's nice.
The season starts up. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, college soccer getting underway. That's fun. Yep, we got
3-3 draw. So good good match over there too. I do have some results from the cross country. The girls or the boys, May River 3rd overall, behind 2 Georgia schools, and then Hilton Head 4th. So right there together, 10 points separating them. So that's going to be a good matchup throughout the season. And then the girls varsity was Hilton Head in 2nd, May River in 6th. And this was like 30 teams in this meet. So
wow,
really solid showings from both.
That's great.
The girls, let's see who the top girl was. Julia McKenna, junior for Hilton Head in 2041, leading the way. Rose Olivetti right up there too. Isabella Cook. So Hilton Head girls looking pretty strong. And then the boys' results, Jackson Wright leading the way for the Sharks, 10th grader in 16:33.
Oh, man.
My man's blazing it. Zach Henderson. Is that the Zach Henderson from JP2? Is he over at Hilton Head now? There's a Zach Henderson at Hilton Head. I don't know if that's the same kid. 1701 though, so it would make sense. You know, like, that would make sense. But man, Bay River guys, like everybody's coming in under 18. Really strong.
Good depth up there. Shark Tank.
Good job, Cooper and Nick. Solid stuff. So Sharks are looking good over there on the cross country course, and definitely ready for some Sand Shark soccer. You got it on Saturday, right, Wes?
That's when it all starts up. Oh, they do play one game on the road before that, I believe on Wednesday, and then their home opener will be against King University coming up on Saturday afternoon.
We'll have the call on the Sand Shark Game Day Network.
Yeah, debuting for 2024-25.
Awesome, good stuff. Well, let's don't dilly-dally around any longer. Our MVP sponsors, Megan Jarrett, our official realtor, and my wife. She just celebrated a birthday, so we're still celebrating it over here. Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports with Keller Williams, the Low Country. She can get you into the local real estate market, help you find your place in the Lowco. Call on Megan Jarrett, my wife. I got the digits. Homegrown Home Inspections, our official home inspector. They'll check out that home and make sure it's good to go. And if you're building a new home, you got to have them do the phased inspection where they check on it every step of the way and make sure it's built right with Homegrown Home Inspections. Hospice Care of the Low Country, our official hospice provider, providing hospice care, palliative care, and free grief counseling, plus much more. At Hospice Care of the Low Country, where it's not about dying, it's about living. And our MVP sponsors present our guest tonight, Mr. Beau Gwynn, star on the football field and the wrestling mat for the May River Sharks. What's up, buddy?
How we doing?
Doing all right, man. Good to have you in here. I know you're a viewer. You're jumping in on the comments from time to time, even with some dropping some knowledge on us from a volleyball game or something. So it's great to get you on the show. We've spent a lot of time together in gyms because, you know, that's how wrestling goes. You're in there all day and a lot of time to talk. So good to have you in here and let you tell people a little bit more about yourself. But first and foremost, you guys are off to a great start over there, 2-0. And doing it the way that they've done it when it was going good over there, which is grinding it out on the ground. And that means a lot of work for you offensive linemen. How much fun are you guys having these first couple of weeks?
It's coming off like a 4-7 season and the year before 5-6. It's fun getting some wins in and be able to celebrate with your teammates and just even our offensive line just included mainly. We're having fun being able to just basically just pound dudes all day, just destroying them.
Yeah, it's been impressive. I mean, last week you guys had West Ashley. They beat you up last year. I mean, just ground you down. and you guys came out and met them physically and were able to get the win on the road. So, what's kind of the difference between a year ago and this year? I noted it at media day, even like just a little spring in y'all's step. You were excited. What's kind of been the difference this year?
I think it goes back to just even a lot of teams, they start in the spring. May 1st is when they start, but us, we start in March. We were on the football field at 7 a.m. in March, just grinding out, running plays, some sprints, just getting in shape, getting ready for spring ball. And then throughout spring and summer, we just grinded out as a team. It was, I think, a lot last year and the years like the year before that, we weren't so great. It was players were playing individually, including myself. I was more focused on myself and not worried about my teammates. Where this year it's 11 dudes together playing football and having fun and being able to work together and stuff like that.
And when you're having fun, it makes it that much easier to just bond together and play well together. And you've got a great coach. Coach Barneville is doing a tremendous job. I saw a glimpse of it last year, but now it's really starting to come together. What's it been like to play for Coach Bonneville, and how much has he motivated you into this new season to seize the opportunity of this new opportunity in 24?
Yeah. Well, I've got to play. Luckily, I've been able to play for Mayover since I was in 8th grade. And Coach Bonneville, even when he was the OC and now he's the head coach, has always been my offensive line coach. And
Nice.
I solely believe with everything in my heart that is the best offensive line coach in the state of South Carolina. And there's not a coach that's better than him. And there's
a good argument to be made. Go ahead.
Yes, I agree.
And I think that this year being his, I think a lot of people put a lot of pressure on him being a first-year head coach and stuff like that. And I think it now being his second year and us players just developing, even going back to media day when we talked about Coach Whitley, our strength and conditioning coach. He helped players, including myself, put on 15, 20 pounds of muscle. And that's showing it on the football field where we got dudes like Cole Simmons that are playing basically a tight end version that's 160 pounds and putting 220-pound linebackers in the dirt daily. And that's just what it is. It's about working out as a team. And I think that just us being able to come together as 11 players has really pushed us to one of the top teams down here in the Low Country.
Yeah, that's definitely. You're not the first person who's mentioned Whitley. Like everybody's talking about Whitley doing special things over there. So that's a key piece of the puzzle. Tim, were you about to get in there?
Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Bonneville because he's been over there since the start at this point. Now seeing him finally get that head coach job, what are some of his new expectations for you guys as far as practice and on the field?
Well, so a lot of teams practice after school, but we're on the field at 6 a.m. every single day. 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. every single morning, Monday through Wednesday, every single day, grinding out. And he expects us to put our best effort forward. And if we're not putting our best effort forward, he's gonna know, and he's gonna tell us that we're not putting our best effort. And I believe when we put our best effort, we're one of the best teams. And I think these last two, in the whole airport game and that first half of that West Ashley game, we were putting everything together and just being able to move the ball down the field.
Yeah, that airport game.
And give a shout out to your guys, your other guys on the line. I mean, it's important as a senior for you to motivate them and just to see how far they've come. Shout out some of those other guys who have helped you dominate out in the offensive line so far this year.
So offensive lineman is me, William Bonneville, Nathan Vu, Caleb Oko, and Sean McNulty. And I think that we might not be, like I said at media day, we're not the biggest offensive line. You stack us up against probably any other line in the state, and we look just small. But those, I'd give my life for them. Those are my dudes right there. I'd do anything. If in 10 years one of them calls me and they need help, I'll be there right away. Those are my dudes right there.
Yeah, and that's what it takes down there. I mean, because it is very much a team effort. Like you have your individual assignment, but as you know, they might stunt or they might, two guys go through one gap or it's it becomes a team effort real fast, and protect the quarterback at all costs.
Yeah,
And
I solely believe if I step the wrong way and I mess up, that my other offensive linemen are going to be there to help me. I solely believe.
It's the only way it works. It's the only way it works. It doesn't work if everybody's doing their own thing. It's got to be every man. Everybody's got everybody's back. So, and going back to the max effort thing. I mean, that's to me that's like almost like the building block of coaching is just recognizing, challenging kids to give full effort, so you know what it looks like, and they know what it looks like, and then calling them out when they don't meet it. It's like, I've seen you go harder than that. You know you can go harder than that. And so, yeah, that's I love to hear that. That's something that I lean on a lot is, hey, that's not as fast as you can go. I've seen you go. I've seen you when you're in a race. Okay, you can go faster than that. So, but the thing that stood out to me the most on Friday night is you guys piled up a bunch of yardage on the ground, and Tanner only ran it like 3 or 5 times. And in the past, you guys have really had to lean on him. And I know Coach talked in the preseason about that being a concern and wanting to spread it out more. But, man, you guys have a bunch of dudes carrying the rock and doing damage, and allowing Tanner to just kind of set back and manage the game and hit his spots when he needs to. And that's a beautiful thing, right?
Yes, sir. I want to shout them out real quick. We have our different backs, Andrew Johnson, Asa Haskins, Gage Duncan, Sean Mitchell, Will Boswick, Peter. They all of them carry the rock, and a lot of them play defense also, but they're willing to put their pride to the side and be able to go both ways and be able and put all their effort towards the team and being able to do that. And I think that we got arguably one of the best backfields in, I would say, the state of South Carolina. And I think I believe that if we give, depending on the play, if we give the ball to any one of those 6 to 7 dudes, that they're going to go 100% and they're going to get they're going to get the yards that we need. Yeah. And if one of them fumbles, our team's going to pick them up. They're going to go back and get another 5 yards or whatever they need.
Get in there, Wes.
And you guys, Brian, on the defensive side as well, just 13 points allowed against Airport, and then a grinded out 28-21 win at West Ashley this past week. But I mean, defensively, you guys have always been very, very strong on that side of the ball. But what has really worked so far this year in terms of communication and the effectiveness that you've seen watching that defense play and seeing what they have done so far against, especially a really quality team in West Ashley, and then Airport the week before that?
So in our Airport game, it was 34-13, but 6 of those points were given up by the offense.
Right.
We did fumble the ball and they brought it back. So they only gave up 7 points. And then I want to point out last week they gave up 21 points, but in that first half we were up 21-0, and in that second half we put up only 7 points, and we were not giving them any help. We were 3 and outs kind of and leaving them to dry on the field. So I want to point out that a little bit on the offense, that we were leaving them out to dry. And I think a lot of we have in our past, we've relied on our defense, and our defense has always been star-studded. And I think that this year there's not one player on our team, not one player on our defense that is better than the rest of them. That they like, just like the offense, all 11 of them play together, and I think they stop almost any team. I mean, look, they allowed 21 points against West Ashley, but if we gave them some help, I would think 7, maybe 14 points allowed.
Yeah, and 21 ain't a bad night's work anyway if you get the win. Against a good offense, it ain't a bad night's work. So, a bunch of, and like you said, a bunch of dudes contributing. AJ Hamilton had 7 tackles and a pick. Peter Nodelman's been an animal. He had 10 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Xavier Polite's been really, really good. Ethan Sprinkle's an animal. So you got a bunch of dudes who are kind of helping to carry the load over there, and that's what it takes. Hats to the ball. When your defenses have been really good, it's been not necessarily one guy. It's been, gang tackling and solid linebackers, everybody getting to the ball. So it's looking like a classic May River team right now. It's starting to feel like that kind of thing. You feel the same thing over there?
I feel like I think that this is like I said before, like everybody's just playing together, and it's starting to click, and it's as long as we keep I want to point out in practice, coach goes over this in practice. The words of the team, like the name of the team that we're playing, is maybe in 4 days of practice is maybe said like 5 times because we're not worried about the team we're playing. We're worried about ourselves. And that's if we're worrying about when we start worrying about the other team is when we start having slip ups. And that's why I'm worried about myself and my teammates. My teammates worried about me and their self, and just everybody's worried. Everybody's focused on themselves and their teammates, and we're not worried about the other team that we're facing.
Do your job. Trust the guy next to you to do his, and
that's all it's about. Is the trust between you and your teammates.
Amen.
That's exactly what it's about, Beau. And you've learned that same mentality as well in a different sport on the wrestling mat because you were also part of that wrestling program. So just tell me, as someone who's been a veteran of that program, how football and wrestling have gone hand in hand at May River, and how digging in on the mats in the winter has helped to become an even better football player in the fall.
Yeah, so my freshman year, I wrestled in middle school, but I wasn't really planning on doing it in high school. But Coach Bonneville and both our head coach, Coach Powell, encouraged me to do it. And like after my freshman year, I was mainly on JV, and I really wasn't liking it, and I didn't plan to really wrestle my sophomore year. But Coach really pushed me to do it. And then my sophomore year, I was gonna be probably on JV and like not really starting again. But then we had an injury, and I just had to step up. And then like I kind of realized that like. I like being around. Those are my guys also. Like it's those bus rides there and back, and those times like at dual matches, like there's nothing like it. It's like running out on a Friday night lights. It's like it's just being with your guys.
Yeah.
And I just think like all the coach taught me like all the hand fighting and stuff like that, and the wrestling mat really helps you to basically like replace your hands and stuff like that on the offensive line. It kind of just like. When you're thinking about like when you're in game and you're thinking about it, it kind of just helps you replace and stuff like that. It's just like it's a secondary thought.
Yeah, the footwork, the balance, all of it. It just all works really well. I mean, you don't see a lot of offensive linemen in the NFL who weren't wrestlers in high school. Most of them were. It's very common. So it just translates really well. And you've done a great job of it too, man. I remember when you kind of got thrown into the fire when you were a sophomore, and by the end of the season, you were going after some people. Best wrestling picture from Lowco when you grew the extra arms. That was pretty great when you had 4 arms. That was a good one. But no, I mean, they threw you into the fire. You grew into it. And then last year you had a really solid season. And I'm sure you have big plans for this year, right? You're going to be able to make 285? You good?
Yeah, I'm heavy up there now, but I'll get down there. I'm going to make sure I get down there.
Yeah, man.
I'm not going to leave my teammates. I'll make sure I'm not going to leave my teammates out to drive. As you see, big things are coming from May River football. There's a lot of things coming from May River wrestling this year. Don't be surprised if you see 14 dudes with rings on their finger come February.
Oh, heard it here first. I'll have to get you on the Lowco grind to make that claim. But yeah, I definitely think May River, both football and wrestling, on the come up. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Wrestling been there for a minute though. You guys have been kind of the class of the area, trying to keep it there. And it's getting tougher all the time. The competition level is rising. But you guys have definitely been dominating the region. I don't see anybody really coming for you this year. I think it's still yours for the taking.
I think the Sharks are going to be taking that region and a lot more.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good, man. You guys got anything else for Beau before we let him go on a school night?
Yeah. Speaking of this region, what do you guys think about how you measure up so far after 2 strong wins? Obviously, you take one at a game at a time, but are you doing a little watching of Bluffton and Buford and some of these other region teams?
I mean, it's a peak every once in a while, but like I said, we're worried about self. There are week 9 and week 10 game. We got 6 teams before then that we're going to focus on first.
So. Right.
That's a great answer right there. Coach will be proud. Good stuff, man. Timmy, you got anything else?
Yeah. This weekend or this Friday, actually, it's senior night for you guys, right?
All right.
Yes, sir. Against Lake City.
Senior night against Lake City. Yeah. So, are you guys expecting a big game?
Yeah. I mean, we're we're gonna go out and we're gonna show out and grind out like we had the last 2 nights, and we're gonna hopefully pull out a win.
I mean,
that'll be a big one.
How special
it's
is it, especially on senior night,
pals, old boys.
A good performance? I mean, it's certainly an emotional night for you. So, what does that mean to put those pads on and to put the jersey on senior night for you?
I mean, it's just like I've played this game since I was 4 years old, and it's the thing I love the most in life. And being able to put it on, like I know I'm going to put it on more after because we have more games. But I mean, that's a really special night for me and my family, my mom included. My mom's been here for me through thick and thin since I was 4 years old playing ball, including my dad. And it's as much a special night about me. It's really about them also for what they've done for me.
Yeah, that is absolutely more what senior night is about. Is about the parents. I've started to realize that as I've gotten older. That is very much about them and honoring them for all the stuff they've done along the way to help you get there, and letting them have that moment to, kind of cry with you for a minute and just appreciate it. But I like the move doing it earlier in the season rather than big game last game of the regular season. It's a lot of distraction.
Right.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to put it earlier in the season in a game that it matters. It matters because it is another game, but it doesn't matter as much as like a region game would be. Yeah. So we want to. That's I believe that's I don't know for sure, but I believe that's why Coach wanted to do it, just so that when it comes, we're Lake City. We have Lake City, then Brooklyn Case, and then Georgetown, and then those 5 games in region play is obviously those are what matter the most. This is I mean they're games, but they're basically just scrimmages for your region play. And we just wanted to do it earlier and make sure come those 5 games, we're ready to play football.
I like it. At first I went, whoa, that's weird. Senior night already. But the more I thought about it, the more I liked it.
I wonder if
it take center stage,
I wonder if it was at first a consequence of COVID because of the situation that we don't know if we'll get the opportunity.
So. Not at this point.
But I said initially.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like a lot of schools have just kept it that way because of the other reason that you just discussed, which is, I want to make sure that we recognize moments in a game where there would maybe not have been much at stake. So I think I was saying initially, COVID may have initially moved it, and then teams have been like, okay, I like it this way. I like it.
I like it. Yeah, I like it. It lets it kind of stand alone as a special night, and it'll be a cool matchup for you guys too, because that's Pal's old stomping grounds, his alums, or he's an alum.
We get to go play the Lake City, the little Lake City scrimmage. We get with the jamboree that we go play every year, but we've never actually played them. Actually, we've played against other teams at the jamboree. We've never actually faced up against them. And I mean, just like last week, West Ashley, our defensive line coach Morris, like that's his former school, so it's adds a little, not like too much extra, but it adds a little bit extra for us and for them, just being able to play against their former teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's cool for them for sure, and it gives you guys a little motivation. Like, he always talks about how great they were. Let's go whip them. Every coach is always talking about how great his team was at wherever he went to high school. So definitely good to put one on them. So, hey, great talking with you, Beau. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again between football season and wrestling season, but we'll definitely see you around. You're everywhere we go, it seems like.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you. I just want to say thank you for having me come on and be able to talk to y'all and stuff like that. And just once again, I want to shout out my teammates and everything like that. And I think we're building a special season here, and it's about them.
I'm excited for the ride. I'm excited for the ride. It's gonna be a fun region.
Yes, sir.
Fun season for you guys.
Man. Appreciate you. Great job. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Y'all enjoy.
Have a good one.
Beau Gwynn making the most of the opportunity. Definitely showing out. He hit me up earlier today. He said, "Hey, is it do you just want me or you want coach?" I said, "Whatever, but I like having the kids. I like having the kids alone, give them a chance to kind of, stand on their 2 feet and speak for themselves and put their best foot forward." And he rose to the challenge, definitely. People watching Jalen Singletary's interview and some of the other great ones we've had and taking note and taking advantage of the opportunity, put themselves out there and show what they're all about. And I'll say it again. If I'm looking at a bunch of kids on paper and on film that look about the same and one of them sends me a clip of him in a live interview, and he's saying all the right things. It's a heck of a tiebreaker, brother. It's a heck of a tiebreaker.
For sure.
So we're glad to provide the opportunity for kids to show what they're all about and hopefully turn some heads. Varsity sponsors of LowcoSports. DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. DDSHHI.com if you need to get found online and do more and think bigger. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties and provides us the opportunity to shine a light on more teams and student athletes out there who deserve recognition around the Lowco. Dr. Ambrose Coles, our official chiropractor of LowcoSports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club, the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. You can take your skills on the mat to the next level at Reverence Wrestling Club. Riley Stokes, Sharks baseball legend, weighing in, saying that's my GOAT. Beau Gwynn. But I don't know. Had you guys been exposed to Beau Gwynn much before? He's good people.
I saw him in their first game.
Yeah.
On the offensive line. They look great all game.
Yeah. Oh, he's an animal.
Yeah, I'm impressed, by the way, because I kind of thought that they were in the makings of a stronger team last year, and some things still had to be improved upon. But now I think they're really starting to see that and vision out, and now this is a squad that is looking fairly dangerous in this region, especially if the offensive line continues to pave the way for that run game. And then the way the defense has been playing. I mentioned just the 6 points allowed, you have the offensive touchdown given up in the opener, and then really top forwards against a great West Ashley team. So, I'd love to see them keep it going and pick up some more dubs in this first half of the year to get themselves ready for some wars coming up in region play, because I'll tell you what, Bluffton end of the year is going to be a heck of a game. Beaufort is going to be a fantastic matchup as well. Hilton Head should be on top of that, so they're going to have to earn it. And I think Bay River I think they're right there as kind of a team flying under the radar in this region that can sneak up on some guys, especially Bluffton, a rivalry game. But don't count them out against Beaufort.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying Bonneville's managed to light a fire under all of them, it seems.
Indeed.
Yes.
Really got him going.
Yes.
Love that coach. I got to talk to him.
In.
The accountability program that he started last year, and those kids bought all into what he was preaching, and we saw the effects starting in 2023. Now it's just gotten even better in 24. And with these guys have now had a year under him, a year under the system, I think they're really starting to get it, and they're playing some inspired football right now. So that will be a team to watch for sure as we get into October and into region play. But it's definitely getting more exciting over there at May River. The Sharks are on the hunt right now.
No doubt. Max Arraj has joined us. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? How are y'all doing?
How was your Labor Day weekend, bud?
Oh, it was great. I mean, I had to work today, but it was a great Labor Day weekend. A lot of college football.
A lot of college football.
Apart from my Clemson Tigers, they didn't really play football on Saturday, but we're not gonna. We'll talk about it eventually on the show.
Hey, I guess it could be worse. Because Florida State is staring down potential 0-2 start. They're down.
Yeah, they're
21-13 against Boston College. And they're
about to go down, and about to go down more.
I have no problem with that whatsoever. Because
pretty hilarious.
As a Clemson fan, I can't stand Florida State, and I just, I like DJ Leongelay, but he just has not lived up to the hype he had when he came into the college football team.
It's subjectively hilarious after the fit they pitched after last year. It's hilarious. Everybody in America is enjoying it too. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I got friends who that have gone to Florida State, and I just texted them before I hopped on the show. I'm like, so how are you guys feeling tonight? and they started one of them called me right away. And he's like, hey,
use a troll.
I'm like, sorry, man, that's how they pointed out.
That's a trolling.
I was like, hey, man, I got to do. Hey, man, I'm a Clemson fan. I got to do what I got to do. If I gotta, make some Florida State fans angry, then I will.
Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah, they're up. They just punched it again. They're up 2 scores now over Florida State.
Oh yeah.
Minute to go in the third.
Yeah.
Touchdown, Boston College. Jubilant fanfare.
So they'll be 0-2 in the conference now, then, right? Because Georgia Tech was a conference.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's putting them early.
Yeah, 0-2.
Yeah, that is not good.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Funny. But getting it back to the Lowco, there were Lowco players playing a lot of college football this weekend, so that was cool, including Jalen Sneed making some big plays down the stretch for Notre Dame. Yeah, heard that name several times down the stretch.
It's cool.
So it's good to see.
Yeah,
he's really grown to his own at linebacker. He has become quite a valuable piece of that defense now. Marcus Freeman. That group was what they envisioned for him, and really starting to play out in the beginning of the season. So I'm super pumped and excited for Jalen Sneed. This is what he has envisioned, and now it's really starting to come to form here at the end of this year. So Notre Dame cementing themselves as one of the better teams at this point of the season, and a lot of that thanks to the work of our Lowco stud Jalen Sneed.
Yeah, indeed. And then I caught a little bit of Wyoming late night. They had a rough time, though, with Arizona State. So back to the grind next week for Cole DeMarso. And then I watched some North Carolina Central against Alabama A&M.
I did too.
The Storms.
And Hobson?
Yeah, the Storms came. Zion's probably he may get some playing time, but they got a dude who's the number one, an absolute dude. But he's a senior.
Number 4. Yeah.
That guy. Yeah. He's legit. But you can see.
Yeah, it's a beast.
You can see why Zion wanted to go there, though, because they definitely developed some running backs.
Solid. So. Yeah, really. Well, I mean, they've always had. North Carolina Central has always had solid football programs. I mean, I've watched them in person back when I was at Charleston Southern. We played them a couple times in football, so I like their offense. Seen North Carolina Central play. Yeah, it's a great football program. It's a really, really solid FCS football program, and I always enjoy watching those guys play. And there's it's fun because you get to see players you may never hear of at the FCS level who are absolute dogs, and you think maybe one day they'll transfer from FCS and be potential stars at the FBS level. So it's always fun watching some FCS football. It's always exciting.
Heck yeah. I mean, there's dudes out there. Dudes out there. But looking at the high school games, looking back at those, I'll kind of run through what happened and some key highlights, and then you guys, I'll call on you guys if you have more to add. But East Clarendon 32-14 over Ridgeland on Thursday night. Jags got it within a touchdown a couple of times, but couldn't really get it over the top. Big touchdown pass from Tayshawn Smith to Samaj Hicks, and an 87-yard scoop and score from Kayon Mulligan, the big plays for Ridgeland. Greenwood 37-18 over Buford. There, you were there, Wes. Couple of big running plays by Elias Johnson and Isaac Smalls, and Samari racked up some pass yards, but they just had that weird sequence in the
had the fake punt,
where
touchdown, safety, fumble. That's kind of how it goes sometimes. Special teams, it's important. Special teams, they can win you ball games, they can lose you ball games.
Yeah, it just snowballed real fast. But James Island 24-0 over Hilton Head. We mentioned that one. Hilton Head defense played pretty tough. But the offense just couldn't get anything going against the Trojans. 61 rushing yards on 27 carries, and that's going to be their bread and butter. And Randazewski was out, so they just didn't have a whole lot they could do there. Woodland 32-14 over Colleton. Cameron Grayson had 123 yards on 12 carries, and they were close late. It was 20-14 going to the fourth, but Woodland with 2 touchdowns in the fourth. So Colleton 0-2, and they go to Lower Richland, who's pretty tough on Friday. May River 28-21 over West Ashley, who just had Beau Gwynn on. Asa Haskins 145 and a touchdown. Andrew Johnson and Gage Duncan each had rushing TDs. Duncan caught a TD pass, and it was A.J. Hamilton who had the big pick down the stretch. We got bad information on that Friday night, but big win for the Sharks. Bluffton 35-13 over Andrew Jackson. Aiden McCarthy, another big game, 15-24 for 210 and a touchdown, also a pick. 79 and 2 touchdowns on 10 carries. But Cordell Hawley is the one that really caught my eye.
Yeah.
160 rushing yards and a touchdown on 20 carries.
Yeah, they found themselves in
there. So if they have a sophomore with that kind of juice in the backfield, that offense is going to be fun.
Ooh, because that was the thing they were missing. They had some solid wideouts, but they didn't have the every down back. And now Holly has really brought a lot to the table to power that Bluff team, especially leading McCarthy at center. That offense is looking outstanding to start. Obviously, tougher points to come, but Bluffton fans have to be feeling good after 2 games.
Oh, for sure. And, they got Savannah Country Day on Friday, so they'll probably put up some numbers again. They got a bunch of, like May River, they got a bunch of guys who are being productive on defense. And that's always something I look for. Is like, I want to see like 6 or 7 or 8 guys that are all kind of in that 6 to 10 tackle range every week. And that's what we're seeing there. So I like that.
And that's what Boston needs, I think. I feel like I wasn't exactly sure how that defense was going to look going into the season, and 2 games in, I'm beyond impressed with how they've played. And so I think if you look at this Boston team, I feel like in my mind, apart from Buford, I feel as if Boston might be the most complete all-round team in this region.
Yeah, they're a little more multi-dimensional on offense than May River. So in that way, I think you could maybe say that too. But I also think that May River's run game is strong enough that, and I think they can throw it when they need to a little bit. They just prefer not to. It's like a last resort for them for the most part. Some more love for Beau. Love Beau. Battery Creek or Hampton County, 33-0 over Allendale. Javen Risher, a couple of rushing touchdowns. Jalen Singletary had 86 and a TD on 8 carries. Tyler Davis pick 6, and then it was just and they shut it down early because clowns were being stupid outside the fence. And then it spilled over the Huddle House. Don't get me started on the guns, y'all. Children, you don't need guns. Battery Creek 41-26 over JP2. First win for Ed Susi. We had Chase Olson on Friday night. Great to talk with him. Eddie Hayward and Nigel Fripp were a couple of the guys they shouted out. He shouted out by first name. Each had 2 rushing touchdowns. They combined for over 100 rushing together. Derek Smalls Jr. had a big game. He had 56 yards on 2 carries, 70-yard punt return touchdown, 58-yard interception return to set up another score. So he's just that guy. But Brian Jolly, another big game on the ground, 145 and 2 TDs. And Alan Wolf continues to be impressive. I saw a couple of his throws, and I ain't gonna lie, it was impressive. He was 9 of 18 for 257, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Thomas Gem has emerged as really a legit receiver. He's had 200-yard games in a row, had 137 and 2 touchdowns. So, I thought there were some bright spots for JP2. Obviously, it's great for Battery Creek to get that dub, but for an 0-3 team, I feel like JP2 has a lot going in the right direction, at least on offense right now.
Yeah, but tough. The schedule is brutal for them. They've had to face a couple of very talented Skeeza teams, dating back to that one last week as well at home against Lawrence Manning. Carlton Prep as well. So they've had some really tough opponents to start the season. I hope they can find a win soon for that Shane Williams coach squad, because it's certainly the effort's there. The effort is certainly there so far for JP2.
Yeah, I feel like the unfortunate thing for JP2 is that schedule just doesn't get any easier. I think that's the downside for this team, but I also agree. I think that offense showed much more energy in that game. I mean, they scored a good number of points against the Battery Creek defense that is no joke. So I mean,
that really shut down Hillside Christian a week earlier.
And so I that defense for JP2 I really like. I like their defense, but the offense was where I had questions, and I think some of those questions for me are starting to be answered, and I think more of them are going to be answered as the season continues.
Yes, look at Bethesda on the
against
road. Tough team. What's that?
Oh, when we saw them against Carleton Prep, it looked like it was taking them a little while to wake up on offense at first.
Yeah,
and they've made a change at quarterback, and I think it's been positive. Wolf is
and it was the right move for them to make that change. I mean, they made that change against Lawrence Manning, and I think that was the right move to make. Because I think when Wolf showed up, when Wolf stepped in that Lawrence Manning game, I think that offense actually played better in that game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he stepped in as quarterback, and I think that was the right move for JP2 to make.
Right.
Yeah, he gives him a little more juice. He can sling it downfield. I think they wanted to use him as a receiver, but I think they just have come to the realization that he's the guy at quarterback. So, you know, I'm not out on them at all. Their next two are tough though. They go to Bethesda, and that that's a winnable game. They probably need to get that one because then they got Hilton Head Christian at home. I don't know who Augusta Eagles are, but they're playing them. First Baptist.
Is that Augusta Christian? I don't know.
Maybe that's what it is. Augusta Christian.
Augusta Christian.
First Baptist. Hilton Head Prep. That's one you gotta win. But that'll be one Hilton Head Prep circling too.
That's a toss-up game at this. I mean, I think the way the Hilton Head Prep is playing. Yeah.
That'll be one both teams have circled. Like we got to win this one. So that'll be a good one. That'll be fun. All right, back on track. Whale Branch 42-0 over my Canes. Jermon Bowers and Javion Harris each had a couple of rushing touchdowns. Dayon Brown and Camarion Jones each had a TD on the ground. It was Jerry Hatcher's birthday, so we got the whooping that we had coming to us. But back on track for Hardyville next week, hopefully at East Clarendon. And Whale Branch gets Ridgeland at home. That's going to be fun. I like the Warriors in that one.
Yeah,
they're back right. Zoe Allen told me you won't ever see the Whale Branch team that showed up to Bluffton again. That team is gone, dead and buried, never to be seen again. So, and I believe
it was dead and buried on Friday. That's for sure.
Yeah, they came out hitting, bro. Marty came off once and said, "Man, they hitting with their head." And I said, "Yeah, they chose violence tonight, son." Thomas Hayward chose violence as well. 33-0. Tony O'Banner. You told us it was a lot of Tony O'Banner. We got the numbers on it now. 260 yards and 3 touchdowns on 13 carries. 20 per carry. He completed all 7 of his passes for 94 yards and another touchdown.
If Tony O'Banner stays in the field and does what he does like he did on Friday, I don't see anybody beating this team. He's a 1 a.m.
The other thing is,
I know it's very early.
Yes.
Go ahead.
The other thing is for me is Tony O'Banner not only can run the ball, he can actually throw the ball as well. I mean, he's very impressive. And
7 for 7.
6 feet, 215 pounds of just pure muscle,
solid,
just running over that Carleton Prep team. I feel bad for Carleton Prep because we thought it would be a good game, and it just didn't work out for Carleton Prep. And I knew exactly. I saw that first play from Thomas Hayward, and I was like, "Oh boy, it's gonna be a long night for Carleton Prep." We were sorely mistaken in this game.
It was a rough night, but they've also got a defense that's got a bunch of dudes doing work. Bo Pinkney and Mitchell White, 11 tackles each, leading the way this time. But Nick Robinson, he had 5 tackles and a pick on D, along with 94 and a touchdown on the ground. Kellen Fripp had a pick. Jace Bessinger had a pick. So THA's rolling. We've been trying to get Tony on, but they practice, or Coach Malphurs, but they practice late at night, and so they don't get done until we're starting to wrap up.
I'm going to say this. The other thing I saw with that Thomas Hayward defense is when it comes to Carleton Prep running the football, that Thomas Hayward team filled those gaps quick, like incredibly quick. Like it just, and it gave Carleton Prep no chance. And then when they threw the ball, the defensive backs just was on top of Carleton Prep all night long. So it was just a real miserable night if you're a Carleton Prep fan and a Carleton Prep player, because there was just absolutely nothing that they could do. They couldn't figure out anything on the offensive side of the ball. And then the defensive side of the ball, Tony O'Banner just kept stepping over them, and it was like nothing for him. He just ran through everyone.
Yeah. Had a Donnybrook up in Monk's Corner Beaufort Academy winning 35-28 over St. John's Christian. Nick Underwood and Dietrich Schuford combined for 326 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. Underwood had 170 and 3 touchdowns on 19 carries. Also had 7 tackles and a fumble recovery. And Schuford had 156 and 2 TDs on 16 carries and was 8-12 for 96 and had 2 tackles and a pass breakup and a pick on D. So
that's crazy. That's crazy.
BA grinds one out. They got a tough one against Patrick Henry on Friday. That'll be fun. Hilton Head Christian Academy 34-14 over Bethesda. Another big night for Reed McCollum. 31 of 40 for 321 and 2 touchdowns, and then 68 yards and 2 TDs on the ground. Joey Howe, 13 catches for 138.
Harry Cunningham. You know how I said, you know, on our Thursday night show that what I needed to see out of Reed McCollum was his passing game. I needed his passing game to show up, and it definitely 100% did. I feel like he was listening. I don't know, but
he probably was.
You know, he probably was. And that passing game definitely showed up, and you know, with that and his running game working together, there is no stopping that dude. That dude is just an absolute monster at quarterback. Yeah.
Heard from Coach Ron Peduzzi on Friday night, so check out the Loco Pigskin Live broadcast if you missed that. Patrick Henry, 42-10 over Clarendon Hall. Kind of uneven on offense, according to Stricklander, but Michael Tucker masked it because he was a monster. 126 and 4 touchdowns on 20 carries, and he had a 34-yard touchdown reception, 6 tackles and a forced fumble, and 4 for 4 on PATs for Michael Tucker Mathis. Luke Sobey had 13 tackles and a sack and forced and recovered fumbles. And Sims Brunson and Trey Adkins also had big games on defense and forced turnovers. And then the Stingrays of Cross fell 58-6 to Kings Academy. It was 52-6 at halftime. So that was week 2. It was good times. It was good times.
It was.
You know, Whale Branch is who we thought they were. Bluffton and May River appear to be like good. So that's fun. That's exciting. Buford's 0-2 and nobody's worried. We've been here before. You know, I think everybody kind of is who we thought they were for the most part at this point. And I'd say Bluffton and May River maybe slightly overperforming my expectations.
I'd say
May River in particular.
Hilton's kind of thing in there. Obviously, you would have liked to see him a little bit closer, but Hilton had showed itself, made a competitive game against an always very good team.
Yeah, they're hamstrung on offense.
They're still that's the question, especially if Brandon Zuski's out. It's just they do need more offensively. Obviously, Troy Timko is a rock pounding the ball on the ground, but they certainly need some more experience at quarterback. They definitely need a lot more.
They got 2 good backs, but they have to have a threat. They have to have a threat.
Yep.
So,
I mean, you can stack the box and try. You can stack the box all day and defend against the run, but if you don't have the quarterback, then it's just makes it tougher.
If I was doing power rankings, I'd have them 4th right now in the region.
Yep.
You know, solid 4th.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about Colleton because the schedule's tough, and I just don't want them to lose the team before they even get to region. You know, that can be tough. But they were right in that game last week. Grayson had a big game. You know, it looked like they played 2 different quarterbacks. I don't know if that was injury or by design, but they rallied late last season. They struggled a little bit early and then got it going. So
but this coming Friday, 2 games I'm really interested in. There's a couple on the trade depth, but we have a pair of local and Loco games. Patrick Henry and Buford Academy. That one could be a very interesting one with the way Buford Academy has started. Patrick Henry, defending state champs in 1A. So I expect a fun battle over there. Statement game for both of those teams early on in the season. And then Ridgeland Whale Branch, another local on local game, which is also very interesting. Whale Branch coming off a convincing shutouts against Maryville. Now can they back it up back at home? So that one could be a ton of fun trying to complete the Ridgeland and Hardyville sweep. I guess they're able to.
Yeah, Jasper County Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that'll be fun. Ridgeland's got some dudes. You know, I don't know if they have enough. I don't think they have enough for Whale Branch, but they got some dudes. MJ Winston Smith, he'll make some plays. Xavier Plowden is a dude. You know, they got some players. Tayshawn can sling it, and Devin Fields will go get it. They got Samaj Hicks. They got athletes. You know, whether they can execute consistently enough to compete with Whale Branch. If Whale Branch plays the way they did last Friday, no. I mean, they just can't. They're not that good. But if Whale Branch plays the way they did 2 Fridays ago, yeah, for sure. You know, you play the game, not the opponent. And a lot depends on what they do. But no, we got some good ones on tap. Buford, Phillips,
not as many at home. Yeah, Buford, a lot
not
of games.
Many at home. Aiken at Hilton Head, Lake City at May River.
Everybody else on the road.
And then Patrick Henry, Buford Academy, Ridgeland, Whale Branch. That's it. But that's kind of cool. You know, we'll have our peeps out on the road.
Yep.
I'm sure obviously Jimmy will be at the Buford game. Satcha will be at the Bluffton game. We'll have to find somebody who's at the Colleton County game and the Creek game. But and the Hampton game, we'll have lots of friends at the Hampton game.
Hampton Silver Bluff, that's a Downy Brook.
Whole town will be there. The whole town of Hampton, damn near the whole county will be at Silver Bluff. I'll have people at the Hardyville game for sure. JP2 does a great job on Twitter of keeping us posted.
Okay.
And Thomas Hayward, we'll get somebody to keep us posted over there. We'll be all set. Yeah, it'll be a fun Friday night. Be light duty for us though. Relative to the last couple of weeks, it's only 6, 9. Oh, okay, it's 12.
We still have the same amount of games, just a lot more on the road.
Well, we had 14 the last 2 weeks, and we only have 12
Mm.
this week, so it feels like light duty, you know. But anyway, the Lowco Booster Club, they take care of us, so please call on them if you need their services. Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court with Charter One Realty. They want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel. They put out the Lowco swag shop. Get your Lowco gear. H2 basketball over there now on the Lowco swag shop as well. Eagle Creations on Argent Boulevard. They can help you out. Jay's Barbershop is in downtown Ridgeland, and it's the place to be whether you need a haircut or not. You can go in for the great conversation and come out looking stylish at Jay's Barbershop. If you have dirty floors, Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country will get them so clean that your feet will thank you. Chris Odom is our dude over there. Hudson Seafood House on the docks. My guy, Andrew, he knows how to make the sandwich the best, the owner. So order it Andrew's way at Hudson Seafood House on the docks. Great place for cocktails, seafood, and sunsets, plus much more. Hilton Head Institution and Hurricane Sports Cafe out in Hampton. Great place to grab a bite when you're out that way. And big supporters of Loco Sports. So that's our Loco Booster Club. Boys, parting thoughts before we call it a night. Teams of the week. You're right, Wes. Who are your team of the week? Kick us off. Gonna need a bigger boat.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, I did not expect what I saw there on Friday night against the West Ashley team that seemed to always have their number. May River goes in there and beats them 28-21. 2-0 are the Sharks. Revitalized team. Coach Bonneville doing a heck of a job. Beau Gwynn, great interview today. But I love what that group is doing so far with the offensive line proving how strong they could play. The run game has been excellent. The defense making some timely stops, hard-nosed team. I am excited about May River, and I think they have an outside shot of really making some noise in this region if they can keep this up. Going to be emotional senior night. Put up one of those 4 home games in the Lowco. They will take on Lake City, so looking forward to hearing. I'm sure Tim Alonso will be there as hopefully as a River Sharks. He's the Sharks guy, so looking forward to hearing the report. Misa Verzon, I'm sure his presence will be there as well to watch. What has been a fun May River team this far. I'm hyped. Probably the most excited I've been since the Ahmad Green days.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that 1 year with Garvin was pretty good.
Yeah,
The amount of green days were different. They were different.
Yeah. They had the offense tailored around Ahmad from the second he got there.
Yeah.
I mean, they
in
were
8th grade.
they were planning it out then.
Yeah,
they knew what
no
they
doubt
had.
about it. Yeah, he was special.
Yeah,
great call, Wes. Timmy, who's your team of the week?
I gotta go May River as well.
Oh,
right,
I mean,
all right.
I didn't really see anything great out at Hilton Head versus James Island.
No, fair enough.
It was
Okay.
James Island came out and did what they were supposed to. Nothing crazy, impressive. Hilton Head was in there, but they just couldn't get over the hump and score something.
Okay, since you have the same team as me, pick a player that really stood out for you.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
They were talking about Gage Duncan had a really good game.
He did.
With 2 touchdowns, right? The catching and the rushing. Yeah.
Yep. All right, Gage Duncan, good call.
Like,
Nice.
what, 180
Haskins, 145.
Yeah.
Big game for Asa. Maxie, who's your team of the week, buddy?
It's got to be Thomas Hayward for me. I think they just, from what I saw, Antonio Banner is the real deal. That dude is a absolute animal. And, a lot of players on that team really showed up in that game. I wasn't sure. I think we expected it to be a close game, but Thomas Hayward just showed everyone why they're the favorites in that 1A region. They just have a complete and solid, football team, and it's going to be very tough to beat them. But I'm intrigued to see how that Thomas Hayward-Patrick Henry game goes when that game comes around, because I think that could be the real true test for Thomas Hayward on the season. I thought it would be called in prep, but it just didn't. It didn't show up in that. They just didn't show up in that game. So I think, going forward, I think Thomas Hayward is the team to beat in that region.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were who we thought they were.
The Bears are what we thought they were. What we thought they were. We played them. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were.
We thought they were. I love it.
That's the truth.
That's one of the all-time great clips, but they are who we thought they were. Yeah, Thomas Hayward, I thought you would go that direction, and I would have laughed at you if you went a different direction, given that you saw it in person. For my team of the week, I got to eat a little crow, and got to go with the team I saw in person as well. Well Branch Warriors. I got all caught up in the hot. Hurricane's gonna do it. I already had it out with Zoe this weekend. I was like, man,
I think you can play that.
I knew better. I
think you can play that clip again. Just for that.
I got caught up. I got caught up in the hype, but yeah, no doubt they are who we thought they were. They Hatcher got in their ass all week, and they were a different team on Friday night, and that's the team we expect to see out of Whale Branch every week. So I'll give them my love. They were a machine on offense. They were hitting hard. Ivy and Tots and them were pancaking people. Our boys got hit in the mouth, and they didn't want anymore. Like it was that kind of violence they chose. So it was impressive, and they were on Beavertone, so you can go watch the highlights. But it was good stuff. I love them Whale Branch boys. They were my first love before Hampton and Hardyville. I loved Whale Branch, so good to see those guys get back on track and get out of Hatcher's doghouse this week. I would have felt sorry for them if they took another L, but they should be back on track now. Got Ridgeland coming in, so great show tonight, boys. Enjoy the heck out of it. Good talking with Beau Gwynn, great young man over at May River. Look forward to seeing him all football season as well as on the wrestling mat this winter. He'll have to trim down a little bit, but be fun to see him out there. And we'll be back at it tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. We'll line up a great guest for you and banter about some more. Maybe I'll get the Lowco stat leaders compiled by then, and we can talk about that a little bit. Maybe not till
Wednesday, it'd be fun.
Tomorrow's
it'd be fun.
We'll see. We'll find something to talk about like we always do, as long as you show up to listen or watch. So thanks to everybody who was a part of it tonight. Thanks to Beau Gwynn for hopping on with us. Thanks to all of our sponsors, especially the OGs, Mickelson Law Firm, supporting us since the very beginning. And we'd love to have you on the team if you'd like to join our roster of sponsors supporting grassroots local sports coverage that shines a light on deserving teams and student athletes doing big things in the Lowco. But that does it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for Wes Kerr, Tim Alonso, and Max Arraj. I'm Justin Jarrett. Till then, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing.